Huh? Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that?
Yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter ego.
Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. This stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat. You're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit, in a way that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Also, welcome to the chat, Recparian. We having a big old society moment. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. What? Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gates of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. This is the beginning all over again. Eh? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Oh. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and they used up the last little bit of their strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was start looking for a way out of there. I'm immediately drawn to this. That's a rocket. And a tank? I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. I'll save the door for last. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that went up in the school's garbage pit? One final... Anything up there? Nothing up there. There's one more door. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink? Which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. You know what? I can't do anything. Let's go into sleep mode. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. Like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Ka-trunch. What the? That strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. Respect it. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
She has a fucking ramen cup on her head. This place smells awful. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. We got food. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So, you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Alright, Kyoko, you got that master key, get us out of here. But, Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
Listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but There was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Please share. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. You're being very cryptic, Kyoko, please. Please throw me a bone here. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible.
Huh?
Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? Bro, what? Yeah, stuff's getting wacky here. I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you.
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memories by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Oh no, I'm too normal to be a cool mastermind. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Get! It's just like the dream I had before, but... Why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Alright, Kyoko, can you get us out of here now with your master key? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You finally know what Kyoko's ultimate is. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Yeah, I've been calling that since the first one. Like, fucking first murder, I was calling that. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. It is honestly like the most least surprising twist of the story. You had to find someone. Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why'd you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
Oh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster. That combo of emotes, Ace, looks like you just like the ghosts are just smacking my head into a flat paste.
no matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when they said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. I'm taking a little screenshot of that. That's funny. I like that. I'll show that later. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so,
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. Can we use the key and get out of here now? I better talk to Kyoko. Alright, why do they keep booting us out? Just let's keep talking to
However-
Kyoko. Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mikuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mikuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed.
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restriction, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusaba. Well, what's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Explain. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night, I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases, just like this,
Anyway,
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mikuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mikuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mikuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem.
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5. 100 Mile Dash, Pain of a Junk Food Junkie. The end. That's history lesson. Woo! I love history. I did an entire degree around history. You received Dream Island Rocket. Sweet. Save data? Yes, please. Finish chapter 5. 5 alive. In the pipe, 5 by 5. Alright, I'm gonna save here. Because I'm kind of curious if I even have the option of, like, throwing Kyoko under the bus. It might be one of those false choices where the game's like, no, I can't actually do that. But it would probably have, like, a different ending if I did do that. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now... Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Feels like not. Fair enough. Yeah, you're right. Wait, this is chapter 6. I thought there was an epilogue right after this. Hold on, I need to just double check stuff. Trigger Happy Havoc. Ah, fuck. I didn't realize this. I thought there was only 5 chapters. So this is just chapter 6 now. Fuck. Keep hacking. I'm hacking the mainframe right now. How long is this chapter? Because my god. Is there another trial for this chapter? Fuck, there is another there's a fucking whole ass class trial for this. I'm not gonna be able to finish this tonight. I was really hoping I could. You can never escape. I mean, I wasn't exactly trying to escape. I wasn't exactly trying to escape. Because I was planning on playing the second game of this anyways. Fuck, okay. The epilogue is short, it's basically just a cutscene. Do I try and go through all of this? This will become my, like, final... Am I gonna just sprint to the finish on this? Longest stream yet? You know what? Fuck it. I don't have work till 10:30 tomorrow. This is gonna be a final sprint stream. Fuck it, we're finishing this tonight. Or my name isn't Keepa Scripts. Alright, Kyoko. We gotta get out of here. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room.
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Let's get the fuck out of this trash room. Ironically, I'm babysitting again tonight, LMFAO. I mean, I guess as long as I can keep you entertained while you're at work. I guess that's what matters. Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. I like how Kyoko came down here not entirely sure if she could use the skeleton key, but we're gonna find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid into the keyhole. And then, click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. The Keeper Danganronpa finale special marathon! Kyoko, fuck it, we ball! You know what? She said it herself. You don't get anywhere just staying in one place. You gotta take the risks. Finally. We were finally free. My nose will never recover from the smell. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey,
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Ultimate pain, ultimate gain. Aw, fuck yeah. In all fairness, climbing a massive ladder like this is ultimate gains. Now you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
so...
Ever since I can remember, says the amnesiac. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Bubbles! Final class. I've been driving for like 2 hours, but I'm here. Welcome, Bubbles. I have recently declared we are going to rush through Chapter 6 and the epilogue. We are finishing this game tonight. Because thankfully, I don't have work till 10:30 in the morning, so I don't have to get up uber early. Welcome to the chat, man. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Speed run. I don't really think he calls it a speed run. But I'm gonna, it's kind of like a final marathon. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? Why driving for so long? Hi, I miss you. I was visiting my mom. Aw. We made a giant cookie. Fuck yeah. Giant cookies are great. Also, I'm glad you had a good time with your mom. I should call my mom tomorrow. She's at the campsite with my dad right now. So maybe I don't need to wait till Monday when they have service again. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Call your mother. I will call my mother, but she doesn't have service right now. She's at a campsite.
What?
Also, at this point, she's definitely gone to bed at 10:30 at night. Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You've had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Kyoko. I mean, okay, fair, but you could have already done that. Go to the campsite. Daddy issues. This is so weird. Like, hey, this person who has had nothing to do with my life for so long, I want to track them down. I will go through, like, the most intense experience ever. I will sacrifice my pride just to look them in the face and say, I want nothing to do with you. Kyoko sugar honey baby doll. Sever. The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that, my guy. I don't think there's a reason for abandoning your child. You don't have ties with him. You just want to be angry. Almost like she's a teenager. Yeah. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. Watch him say it wasn't his choice. It might be. He might also be dead, because I'm remembering there was a cutscene at the beginning of this of Monokuma sending a dude on a rocket into space. That might have been him. I love her anger not being that he left, that he didn't want to be a detective. Yeah, it's like, I'm not angry you left. I'm mad you abandoned the family tradition. All I could tell is that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
When the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. M. Sneaky as Rat says, I'm gonna be RB Lurk. Hey, thank you for Lurk, Bubs. Lurks are always appreciated. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. Kyoko, you need to seek a therapist, not your abandoned father. I think a therapist would answer a lot of these problems. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? AKA you're angry, girly. She's very angry and is just hiding it very well. It has a very stoic expression. Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. These are very deep conversations to be having in a garbage chute. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. Where else would you have it? With a therapist. Talk to a therapist. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back.
Whew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Why would you have unlocked it earlier? You don't have therapy in garbage chutes? You know, yeah, I prefer a comfier place. Give me like a nice, what do they call it? Like a Shea Lounge? Like those fancy old style sitting chairs? Give me one of those. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course. But if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Oh, wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. Damn, recommend me your place. Nah, there's a problem with that. The American-Canadian border is a pretty big dividing line there. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying, rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? Kyoko, you need so much therapy. I mean, I think everyone who survives this is gonna have like PTSD and trauma therapy. Like everyone needs therapy. No wonder I have garbage chutes and you have Shea Lounges. Shout out to Canadian healthcare. Fuck yeah. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. True, Lamau. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Alright. Out of here we go. Let's go this is such vibes of you know, you get the meme of like text from the hospital, I lived, bitch. Is it worth going to the Mono machine right now? Can I go to the Mono machine? Fuck it. I just crawled out of a garbage chute. Let's gamble. A Try your hand against the almighty Mono Mono machine. Yes, this is the perfect time. Swole Kuma in the gym after a good execution. Fucking Giga Chad Monokuma just benching a new PR. Alright, let's give it a shot. And meanwhile, I'm just here gambling. There we go. We'll do increments of 20. No better time than the present. What the heck is that? We got doll. Lucky. I've gotten that done before. I do not want. To be fair, he said punishment, not necessarily an execution. That's true. We need the ultimate lawyer in here to solve this case. That's what we need right now. We got salt. We have an ultimate detective, an ultimate lawyer, and we can make a damn good case. A rose in vitro. I've gotten all these items before. This 20% chance is BS. Lucky. Oh, we got a little radio. I like it. Use my last 10 coins. This guy got you. T! That's true. T is a lawyer. I'm gonna need legal advice to get me out of this one. Oh, we got a game console. Sweet. Lucky. Is anything fancy? We got Shiva's Tears, I think is what's it? What? I got another one? Damn. I'm getting lucky tonight. We got boxing gloves. Is there anybody who's even a boxer? I don't think there is. Should probably get going. What, you didn't enjoy the gambling there? No longer stinky, but clean. Clean bubble. The bubble has been cleaned. Now like this, are scrubbing bubbles. But yeah, bubbles. Since you've been gone, we crawled out of a trash chute. We're going to confront Monokuma, and I decided let's stop and have stop and gamble a little bit. Rehydrated bubble.
Well now.
Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
Keep when he's offline.
Squish. If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again.
Angry!
And this time, I won't leave anything to chance.
Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Keep when chat drowns him. Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe.
Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You! Explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Oh shit, we got Hydra's coming in. Let's see. Squish keep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sweet, we got 10. Cheers to 10. Oh, excuse me. 10 Mississippi and bottom of a bottle. That's the first bottle of the night is down. You're 220 in. I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right?
Hey, what are you talking about?
However,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Cheers to 10. Ah yes, I remember that age well. That was 13 years ago. A much simpler time.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So, executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't.
Don't just say it like that.
I need a lawyer, not a detective.
What is this? A comedy routine? To make such bold claims out of shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire. I want shrimp. Shrimp sounds yummy. Shrimp is always yummy. I can always go for a bit of shrimp. I haven't had shrimp in so long, but also I don't think there's anywhere nearby where I can get shrimp. Living in Newfoundland is honestly is sometimes very difficult to find a good seafood restaurant.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince. Let's go. Oh, that's sad. No shrimp for anybody. Wait a minute. I have a question. Can I do it? Oh, I guess she doesn't have that the shrimp. I thought T had a shrimp emote. She does not. I can't use it. Sad. I could have filled the chat with shrimp, but I can't.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Think about the ratings, Monoguma. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Grr.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. No, it's in Discord. Oh, man. The shrimp is saved for Discord. I can't bring it into Twitch lands. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice.
So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
You said it. What have you learned since last stream? Mukuro Ikusawa, the ultimate soldier, she's dead. It seems she was some sort of agent of ultimate despair, whatever Monokuma is, and got killed for her failure to kill Makoto. Monokuma was trying to kill Makoto so he could frame Kyoko as the Blackened to get rid of her because she is the ultimate detective, which I've kind of guessed from the beginning. And now it's a case of bringing a trial against Monokuma and proving Monokuma was the one who killed Mukuro and not Makoto.
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Barry?
Good.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
Ah, if we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown.
He agreed? We still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So, for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
I'm loving the bear puns. I love it. All the mysteries?
That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can't do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along.
Okay, well, good. Then, let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that,
We'll all face execution, right?
oh, I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement?
You're not to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro.
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad?
Whew.
He seems emotionally unstable. Monokuma needs therapy now.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I'm gonna start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. They are all unstable. Look, we've been in this place for I don't know how long. The stress of the killing game and having our friends die around us for weeks at this point. I think everyone's earned a little bit of leniency. Okay. That's just a lot of laughing. Also, my god, my room is so warm. How hot is that for my PC? It's partly for my PC, at least. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. But when was that? So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
However,
and yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
it would seem,
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point. 10 people are dead right now to prove a point.
Hey,
The outside world is a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's... what the fuck? I actually clicked on my folders button. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world, the Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And, due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans we were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. Celeste would have been proud.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True. But now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? There, yes, please. I don't know how we're all gonna get out of this, but so far we have 6 alive. I wonder if we're gonna have another, like, school life section where I'm just chatting with people. Like, it feels like things are going way too hectic at the moment to have, like, a section of talking to people. In the dorms. Will they be in their own dorms? Yes, Hero. This is Hero's room. Is he inside?
Hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Would any of them be in their actual rooms, or are they chilling in the dining hall, maybe? Hina. This is Hina's room. Is she inside?
Hey,
I don't think she's here. Come on. We need to keep looking. Shihiro Toko. This is Toko's room. Is she inside?
hey,
Alright, not there. And just check Byakuya. This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside?
hey.
Nope. Alright. Yeah, let's check the dining hall. That's probably a good bet. And suddenly we were greeted with... What the fuck? You again? Is he broken?
Whew.
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Ashes on some 61. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
We're alive!
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
Huh? You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Is that a compliment? Hacked. Take that, Monokuma. Get hacked, bitch.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Hero, even over this. Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, well, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. Ah, it's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. Who's gonna go down the line?
Yo!
Makoto! What was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
You know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Byakuya? Give him a break. Makoto is not allowed to have a break. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. Hina. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there weren't any new areas. Where can we go to find new clues? You stink. Are you rotten? Rotten physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. This smell is so smelly. Why do you say it with that face? Toko, please seek therapy. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. Just take a shower. Please. She seems happy for some reason. The smell. That smell is smelly. Anchovies.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. Excuse me? It's from SpongeBob. Like, we're like, and it's like the first episode or something where Mr. Crab just like goes like, the smelly smell, that smells smelly. Anchovies. Does it like extremely dramatically? So I find it funny. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. LMFAO. My joke has been approved with context. Fuck yes. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of her doing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did
You
you
spotted the
say?
trap, did you, Makoto? Yeah, you make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you. Also, there's something that just clicked in my head. Everything we've been doing has been on camera. And Byakuya is on camera saying there is a secret cabal of world leaders that control the government behind the public's back. He's gonna get in a lot of shit if he gets out.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you are referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. That is true, yes. Byakuya bitch will get his comeuppance. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
Well, it's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? Well, there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery?
But
But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone?
I hate you.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mysteries? Yeah, it's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe. But this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Kyoko, come on. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. hint.
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people who take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh? But why?
So, in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised a scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game.
Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So, the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now?
What?
You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Oh, wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility.
And that is one possibility we can't ignore.
Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair? So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right,
And
right?
maybe Monokuma's on autopilot. Maybe they load up all the dialogue and actions beforehand.
In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us.
Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation.
Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement.
This is different.
You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Do we have a legit true end route right now?
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Sweet.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
The psychotic bear will be the death of all of us.
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation.
But
I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely only on myself, and the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then.
after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him?
Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye.
With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I've used my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Huh?
Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So, I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. Alright, Kyoko, how do we take this? So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately, doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Oh, that was Makoto. Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. Investigate. Guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. It had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. And that should be open now, right? After that, I have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Place the checks and add to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Alright, so I guess the dormitory will probably be first. That's the closest thing to us right now. Yeah, the gate's up. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it.